Hello everybody, Jack here, and today I'm going to be teaching you about OBS. This video is going to start by using the tool as if you're a brand new user. After that, we go in a deep dive. This is what OBS is going to look like the first time that you run it. It will probably start with this auto configuration wizard already loaded. You'll need to pick whether you're going to optimize it for streaming or recording. Taking the frames per second from 30 to 60 makes the files much bigger. It's going to increase the upload time for all of the videos that you make. Consider using 30 unless you have a good reason to use 60, okay? Click next, and then pick your service, put in your stream key. If you're recording, then you'll just be able to click next here and apply the settings. Once you've run the auto configuration wizard, that's going to configure these settings. All of this stuff here, okay? You don't need to worry about that for right now. We'll get into the depth of OBS later in this video. Right now, I want to be able to get you started using the tool. You're gonna have a scene here and no sources. So it'll probably look like this. It'll just say scene. You're gonna wanna add a source. You wanna use display capture, okay? Name it whatever you want, monitor. And now you'll see your display in the preview box that was previously a big black box. If your display isn't showing up, it usually only happens to laptops with 2 graphics cards. In order to fix that, go into your computer settings and change the default GPU that OBS will launch on. Being able to record your screen, the click of a hotkey, is very, very useful. Go to File, and then click on Settings, and then click on Hotkeys. You want to make it as convenient as possible to start recording, because who knows when you're going to feel like it. I personally use the asterisk on the numpad. It's close to my mouse hand, and I don't use it for anything else. Once you've set up your hotkey, the next thing is going to be to troubleshoot your audio. You see how there's this big bouncing bar here? That means it's working. And you see how this here is red? That means it's muted. There's gonna be desktop audio and the microphone that you have plugged into the computer. If you're using OBS on a Mac, you will not have this desktop audio thing because OBS is open source, so it can't include certain things in it. And you need to download a free codec to use the desktop audio from your Mac. Verify that you see the bouncing bar. If you do not see this, then click on the settings here next to the microphone, then click on properties. And you want to make sure that it's set to the right microphone. So now that we've set up a hotkey, we've set up our bouncing bar, and we have added our display capture, we're ready to make a test file. What I want you to do is click your hotkey. You should see this icon here light up. You can see that OBS is now recording. And if I click stop, it stops the recording and boom, we just made a video. But where is that video? Go into the top left, click on File, and then click Show Recordings. This is the fastest way to find the videos that you just made. You'll often need to make sure that you make a test file and listen to it before actually recording. The last thing you want is to record a 30-minute session with someone and then notice that you were listening to the wrong microphone and there's no audio. Now, you can change where everything is saved if you would like. In order to do that, go to File, Settings, Output. Under Recording Path, you can change where your files are going to be saved. Now, we're going to talk about sources and adding video capture devices and some of the logistics with managing multiple scenes. After you've added your display capture, let's add a video capture device so that you can see my face. We're going to name this Integrated Webcam because this is the built-in webcam to my computer. Now we can see my face, and sometimes you'll find that nothing's showing up even though the webcam is plugged in. When this happens, you usually need to go down to resolution/FPS type and click custom. And then from here, you can change the resolution you want. And once you do that, then your image will show up. You want to make sure that your image use as small of a video file as possible, unless you're doing full screen video like this. Now we can change the resolution, and let's change it to the highest resolution. We can see, oh, it got all big. You can only see the corner of my face. Make sure that you have your image that's over the screen selected, and then Ctrl F, and then boom, it fit right back to the screen. All right? Imagine that sometimes you want to record video just like this, where you can clearly see my whole face. But other times, you just want the video to be over in the corner. Well, if you want the video to be over in the corner, you could resize it like this and change it around and do that. An easier thing to do is actually to set up a new scene. We're going to go to Scenes and click Add. I'm going to name this Scene 2, just for the sake of it. We're going to go back to our original scene, and I'm actually going to remove the whole webcam, all right? We're going to right-click on it, and we're going to click Remove. Now we're back to just having a display. Let's move to our new scene, Scene 2, and I want to make Scene 2 just show my face without showing the background. So I'm going to add a video capture device, and we're going to name it Webcam. We're going to make sure that the FPS type is set to custom, and we have the resolution set. Now we're going to click on our image and use the hotkey Ctrl F to make it full screen. This looks exactly like what we were doing previously. However, now if I want to switch back and forth live while recording, I can easily do so just by clicking on screencast. Look, suddenly you can see my screen, and now you can only see my face. And all that I'm doing is clicking on screencast and then clicking on Scene 2, which shows my face. So I'm gonna go and I'm going to right click. I'm going to go down to Scene 2 here, and I'm going to right click on Webcam and click Copy or Control C. From here, we can go back and click on Screencast. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna right click and paste a reference to the other video file. And now you can see my face, it's moving around, and if we click on the other scene, nothing's changed. It's moving around. We're actually using one video feed and copying it somewhere else. I can click on the image and move it down, and let's say I want to put it in the middle of the screen here. I made some changes here, right? But if I go over to Scene 2, you can see that there's no changes. It's still functioning as expected. I could switch to this if I really wanted to, and it would be full screen. Now, you might want to look at something called the automatic scene switcher. If you haven't noticed, whenever I change my scenes like this, I actually have to click over here. See? You can automate this whole process. This is something you set up once, and it enables you to forget about scene switching. Watch this. You see my hands? They're going onto my laptop, and I'm opening Google Chrome, and boom! Can you see me anymore? I don't think so, because it automatically switched the scene to Google Chrome. Booyah! And now watch this. I just click minimize. Oh, snap. Suddenly it's me again. OBS has an automatic solution for you. In order to find that, go to the top, click on Tools near Auto Configuration Wizard, scroll down and click on Automatic Scene Switcher. This is going to bring up a page for you that allows you to pick what OBS scene runs based on the current window, okay? So, if you click on this little scroll bar here, you can see all of the active programs on your computer. And you can click one of these, let's say Wondershare Filmora X, and whenever Filmora X is the active window, then OBS will automatically switch to a specific scene that you've set up. For example, it can switch to screencast. All I need to do is just run OBS, and by default, it's going to assume, well, Jack, you're not running any other program, there's no games playing, so you must want me to record your face with your webcam. Another thing we can get into is filters. Anything in the source section can be customized, okay? Whether it's a display, a webcam, an image, a video file. You can press one button and have a video file play on top of your video until it ends whenever you want. It's quite brilliant. All of these options under sources have filters, okay? And to access the filters, right-click on sources and then click on filters. From here, you'll get a preview of your screen, and you can add an audio or video filter, such as a noise gate, or you can add color and video features. There's a couple main ones here that we're going to cover in this video. We're going to talk about image mask and blend and color correction. First, let's look at color correction. Color correction is very simple. You'll be able to tweak the settings. For example, if you want to be super bright, you can raise the gamma. There's tons of options here, and any of you who are used to video or photo editing will recognize all of this stuff, no problem. Next, we're gonna add a border to your video feed. If you've ever watched any streamers, you may notice that they don't have square borders like this. They often have spheres or circles, or it kind of blends into the background. That's actually really easy to do, and you can make your own file to make whatever design you want. Check out paint.net, it's free to download, and it deals with PNG files better than the built-in Paint program on Microsoft. So just grab this, and then I'll show you exactly what you need to do. Once you load up paint.net, don't worry, you're just making something very simple. You don't need any kind of artistic skill whatsoever. First, we need to erase everything. Okay, so click on the eraser icon here, then change the brush width to 1000, okay? And then erase everything. You want to see this checkerboard pattern everywhere, okay? Next, paintbrush, there we go. I personally like using a soft circle with around 33% hardness and then make the brush width much bigger. You'll see that this actually results in a kind of square. So now I'm going to click File, Save As, and save it as a frame template. And remember where I saved it by copying right here. Now that I'm back in OBS, all we have to do is click on our video capture device, go to our filters, and now we can use our image mask blend that we added. All we have to do is change the image mask blend path to our new file that we just created. And now I'm opening the frame template. This will fade our face into the background, as you'll see. Now, there's like this ghostly effect where you can't really see where my image ends and the background begins. And this, I think, is a bit more easier on the eye. So it's a cool thing to set up. Now, you'll notice that these bars are bouncing up and down. There's the green section here, the yellow section, and this red section. And if I were to talk very loudly into my mic, you can hear that when the whole bar goes red, it creates this crackling, garbling noise, and you don't want that. And that's where these sliders come in. If I take this slider and move it all the way down, you can see that the volume of my microphone is much lower. Your goal should be that when you say the loudest possible thing, then it goes just into the red area. You don't want it to fill the whole red bar up and see everything turn red, because that means you produced a crackle. If you're only getting crackles, it could mean that there's a problem with your microphone. We'll talk about noise gates. This is something that is very, very useful. Click on the cog next to your microphone, and then click on Filters. From here, right-click in this area to the left and go to Add, and click on Noise Gates. Now, you could mess with these settings, but I encourage you to keep them exactly how they are. Then click Close. The reason you don't want to mess with the settings is because it's much easier to just change the gain on your microphone. For example, I just maximized my gain, and you can see that it's a little bit too loud. We're seeing the whole bar get red, and the sound of the audio, it is louder, but it's a bit unpleasant when it crackles and overloads. Whereas if I take the gain on my microphone all down, then we start having some other kinds of problems. So a noise gate basically turns your microphone off and on. And it's very, very, very useful because it means that when you're being quiet, your microphone won't be listening. It's kind of like automatically turning the microphone on when you speak. And you heard that car go by, and as soon as I stopped talking, the car noise clipped off because the noise gate ended. Make sure that if you use a noise gate, you test your file and listen to the file to make sure that it is working properly. Make a test file and listen to it. If you're interested in streaming, you'll need to get your stream key. Your stream key is a very important piece of information, and you should make sure that it never gets shown to anybody else. Luckily, nowadays, you don't really need to work with the stream key directly. As you can see, if we run the auto configuration wizard and then click on Customize for Streaming, you'll be able to pick which service you prefer. The main ones are Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook Live. Restream.io is a service that enables you to then send your stream everywhere else. So imagine that you want to stream to Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook all at the same time. Then you can stream to Restream, and it's then going to forward your stream to all of these other streaming platforms. If you pick Twitch, for example, it's going to open up a new window when you click Connect Account. All you have to do is log into Twitch, and that will enable you to connect your Twitch account to OBS. From that point, whenever you click Start Streaming in OBS, your Twitch channel will start a live stream. If you like this tutorial and you'd like to see me make more tutorials, check out the other videos on my YouTube channel. I make videos about a wide variety of different software, computer macros, book writing tools, even tools to send money to people in foreign countries. I've also done a series on how to run a custom server on Valheim Plus. If you're interested in any of this or more, you can also go to my website, jackpitman.com. Here, you'll be able to request I make a tutorial for you. If there's something you want to learn about, or you own software and you want a tutorial made for you, then this is where you go to get that done. Thanks for watching, and feel free to check out my other content.